Now, this is much later in life, not from my grade school. This is from 10, 15 years ago, living in Washington State. There was a point in time where my wife and I were doing a lot of house hunting. We went and looked at this house that we called the Pyramid House. And it was on the edge of a cliff. And oh man, it was the coolest dang house we saw. But man, it was a glass pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid, there was a floor, and it had a sunken part of the floor, and it had this big fireplace. So there was this big metal thing above the fireplace that catch the smoke of the fire and pipe it out through like a chimney to the top of this big glass pyramid. And I said, "Do you recognize what that is?" And I said, "No, but it was from a piece of
Potato
farm.
Potato says hi.
It was from a piece of farm equipment, right? And it was I forget what they call it, some kind of a harvesting equipment.
Hey there,
where
Star says, oh wow.
The tractor would go down and throw the corn or whatever into this big thing. Well, they repurposed that and turned it upside down and used that over this fireplace that was in the center of this glass pyramid. Oh, it was freaking awesome. And then, okay, so at the top of this big glass pyramid was the master bedroom. So he actually got to climb up to the peak, the pinnacle of this giant glass pyramid, and you would lay under the stars. I mean, it was glass, and you'd lay in bed, and you were looking up at the stars. And this was far from the city, so you would see a lot of stars on this thing. And that's not all, okay? So there was another pyramid connected to this thing. There was a smaller pyramid where there was some more bedrooms, like another couple bedrooms, and it was going to be great for the kids because they'd have their own glass pyramid, right? And there was this triangular walkway. So basically there was glass at an angle. They'd walk through this path, and it was a path, and it had like decorative rocks in it, plants growing in this path while you walk through this glass pathway to the other pyramid. And this other pyramid had bedrooms in it. And, so there was that. But then this was off of what they called the Pilchuck River. Okay. And the Pilchuck River carved out a canyon. There was a huge deck behind the pyramid towards the river, the canyon, basically. And you could walk down this canyon, walk down this walkway from the deck. And they actually, they had a freaking deck that hung over the canyon. So you could walk the walkway, and I think it had like a part of a glass bottom and stuff. So you could like walk out there and look freaking down in this canyon. It was like nuts. We kind of fell in love with it, but...
Hey there, Star says you don't say.
But we were going to make a contract on it and make an offer on that house. We thought, okay, well, we might ask for a geotechnical survey on the house. And they go and check the soil for stability and everything. Because it was kind of like a wooded lot. But, it was near the cliff. So we called a realtor, after a couple of days thinking about it, said, well, we're thinking we're making an offer on the house. The realtor picked us up, and we were on our way driving to the pyramid house when the realtor got a call and say, they sold the house. They sold the pyramid house. We were like extremely disappointed at the time. It's like, oh man. And apparently it was, what I was told, was bought by some rich person who collected houses around the US, just for the hell of it. And I was like, what a shame. But this is the reason why it was a good thing we didn't buy the house. Because years later, it was in the news. There was a landslide, and that whole pyramid house, along with that cliff, fell into the river below. I mean, this was a lot of hundreds of feet, just crashed. And the county was actually suing the current owner at the time for the cleanup, to clean up the house from the river. And it was like, oh my God, I'm so glad we didn't buy that pyramid house. I mean, it was like a dream, but it ended up being dangerous. Can you imagine being in that house when that cliff gave way and you went sliding with all that glass down to the bottom of that canyon into the river? Like, oh my God, that could have been the end of us, you know. So, I mean, it was good that we didn't get the house, even though we kind of fell in love with it. But with it being on the cliff like that, that was the thing. And if we would have been able to buy the house and get the geotechnical survey, the geotechnical survey probably would have told us that that was a strong possibility of happening. It was probably going to happen. It was just a matter of
Hey there,
when.
Star says, oh my. At least you both didn't got the house. I am glad you both are okay now.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, it was freaky. It's like seeing that. I think there was a picture of the debris in the bottom of the canyon there. I was like, oh my God, it was. Looking at that newspaper article and looking at that debris, it's like, wow, we were in that house, looking at it, thinking about buying it.